million.
We are.
This is not a joke. This is not a joke. There's more. There's even more crazy shit that I didn't even tell you that you're gonna be like, this is true story.
I'm kind of mad you're not at the airport. Like that was gonna be the bit. Was Drew's still at the airport?
Yeah, sorry about that. Missed field goal to end the half.
Yeah.
Eagles money line backers for the first half or the first quarter. Oops. Any live plays you made in this game so far? Did you bet any Eagles, bet any over after the Texans went right down the field and scored a touchdown first drive?
I got a cheap Eagles price.
I'm surprised we're only seeing 23.5 here.
No, I kind of want to just take this over because
all right, let's do it.
Pierce isn't being stopped right now, and Davis Mills is finding open receiver. And if they push the Eagles in the second half, the Eagles outside of the fumble and the missed field goal, their drives have been moving. That was a really nice, like the punch out on that ball.
Yeah. You know how
the Eagles were touchdown, fumble, touchdown, missed half. So like the only thing that has stopped the Eagles was that cornerback blitz where they knocked the ball out.
Sack,
I really think the Eagles are good for 14 again.
I would agree. Yeah, let's take the over. Yeah. You know how I was super salty and unhappy about the Kareem Hunt thing on Monday because I got swept there on those props. I went back to the well and I just hit every Pierce prop I could find. And it looks like I'm sweeping back. No, to the over.
I'm teasing.
Come on, dude. To the over. So I think I'm sweeping back on that one. He's got 13 carries so far for 88 yards. Longest rush is in the books. Fun-ish game. Davis Mills, only 9 attempts so far. He's completed 8 of them, though. This vaunted Philadelphia Eagles pass defense is being dinked and dunked on. It is... it's kind of surprising that it's 14-14 considering how ultimately both of these teams have been super efficient so far. I think this does go well over the closing total, which was 46-ish, 45.5, something like that. I think the sharp money bet this to the over. Well played. I think the Texans probably cover the 14.
Yeah, it depends. They need to get a stop. And Dan, as Dan points out, the other computer made some noise there. Had to hit mute quick and yell at someone, but I don't know. What's the live? I didn't look at the side at all. I just wanted this total. So right now it's 7.5 plus 100.
Yeah,
little steam to the other way, and little back and forth action on the total. It got bet up to minus 125 and has come back down at Chris right now. Side is still 7.5. I got some 6 in pocket on the Eagles, just doing some small live betting first half. I didn't bet a lot today. I bet the Warriors over. Noops put me in the Warriors over. He really sold that. Yeah, really sold that this morning. I was dead set on that coming home. So that felt good. I did not hit the first touchdown score. Noops did bet on a guy with a made up person, like Dare Ogalakua, and that was not the guy. It was the
fake
Quinceanera that ended up hitting the first touchdown, and I haven't watched much baseball. Been a couple dingers, it looks like.
Magic might pull off this upset here.
They're sassy.
They are sassy. They're not plucky. They're sassy. They're better than the market thinks by a lot, and the Warriors still trying to figure it out. Let's look at some plus minuses here. I don't have much more to say about the Eagles-Texans game. I ultimately think the Eagles will win, although they're playing with fire here. Run defense is a problem. Do you think that the run defense being a problem ultimately suggests that this team is not going to reach their potential in the playoffs? Like, if they're at a deficit, are you like, if this team is down to a goodish quarterback, are you worried?
So I'm looking back at the Eagles' schedule for the year. Yeah, the Cowboys game wasn't close. The Steelers game wasn't close. The Cardinals game, I'm trying to remember how the end game was in that one. That was a late touchdown to put it within a score. It looks like Connor didn't have a big day there, but maybe it is losing your defensive piece that hurt. The Jaguars game, they were down 14 zip like that, leading at halftime like the old Chiefs would have. Sanders had a big day. Yeah, Etienne didn't do much that game. It's they haven't really been gashed on the ground yet. So this is unique, and truthfully, it's kind of worrisome from a game planning standpoint because like, all right, Brandon Cooks hates his team, isn't gonna play. He's pouting. Nico probably not playing. All right, what's left? Well, this Damian Pierce is actually a pretty decent running back. Let's game plan for that. Let's stack boxes. Let's stop that. And they are not. They're not able to. So, like, I mean, just everybody and their sister realized that was going to be the game plan, and to still see it work out this well from a 1-5-1 team, kind of a downer if you're a Philly backer long term.
Yeah, and I think I mean, it's just going to take the right team on the right day to be able to play with the lead, play from ahead.
Well, and that's
defend these guys. Like, this is a tough team to defend.
That's the thing too. The game isn't over. They could win this by 21. It wouldn't surprise me. But
magic.
Yeah, a team with a half decent defense and a run game that got out to a lead. That's going to be a problem if you're not going to be able to stop the run. I don't know. It's tough.
Magic.
Oh, here's a thought experiment from Spencer Koenig, which means king in German. Spencer the King. I lived on a street when I lived there with that in the title. That's how I know that. Put Zach Wilson on this Eagles team. What is the record this year?
I'm gonna go 5-2.
I was gonna go 3-4. I'm so down on Zach Wilson. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, they've played so well as a unit, and I think he would have lost the games to the Jaguars and the Cardinals.
Coming back against the Jags might not have been a thing. Losing to the Cardinals seems likely. Maybe even the Cowboys game at home.
Yeah.
So 4-3.
All right, I'll settle on 4-3.
But
that's it. You know,
mesmerized by these helmets.
The other thing is
so nice.
As Zach Wilson performs well in a pocket, and this is a really good pass blocking offensive line. So maybe we're all talking ourselves into Zach Wilson is the real deal. If he was behind this offensive line, I don't know. I'm gonna go back to 5-2. That's my final answer. Right. He's prone to throw the mistake pass though, and this is not a ding on Jalen Hurts, even though Andy. You know who is a false favorite in the offensive player of the year market?
False prophet. Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts. Yep. Not happening, guys. And you know who the bet is, right? Tractorcito. Tractorcito.
I'm not giving it.
Tractorcito. Oh, it's definitely the bet, man. Tractorcito in pocket 50-1, 33-1. Offensive player of the year.
50-1 I could get done, but I just haven't seen those numbers. I see like 30 in the.
Well, they're gone. They're gone for a reason.
I mean, well, yeah. Go. Nice. This isn't helpful. We're trying to help people. Like, hey,
I think I will be helpful. The fair is like 5-1. There is a lot of room on that number. A lot. Because this is a straightforward case. Here's the case. You ready? Tyreek Hill is your best wide receiver in the game. Yep. And he is going to have the most superlative stats, except for receiving touchdowns. He's going to have the most catches, most yards, and he might break records. Okay. He is hated. He's hated. He is not well liked. People are resistant to giving him accolades because of his historical background. And they're going to look at his receiving touchdowns and be like, he got a lot of yards, but like not any touchdowns. And because they're going to mentally dismiss him for personal bias, which is fine. It's their prerogative. They're the voters. I think that cock blocks every other receiver, which means this is going to a quarterback or a running back. And the only running back that I think is realistically in the conversation is Derrick Henry, because the Titans are going to win that division going away. And he's going to be the leading rusher. He may break 2,000 yards this year.
Him being the leading, Tyreek being the leading receiver in all categories is not a foregone conclusion. The way the Vikings offense might open up for Jefferson with a really good tight end now, he could absolutely take him. Like the Vikings have had a bye, so he's missing a game. He has a game in hand. Like Justin Jefferson, and I'm a little biased because I do have a bigger ticket on him from they didn't let me bet very much, but him being the leading receiver, and I think people don't hate him. That's a a thing here, and
let me
somebody's
ask
asking me to translate another name. Kreiner Durbanverd.
you.
It means
Yeah.
Durbanverd means like going somewhere.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me ask you just a hypothetical. Let's say
the comp though is Rodgers. Like people hate Aaron Rodgers. That's why he hasn't won any MVPs for the last few years.
yeah, he hasn't committed. He hasn't. He's not.
We don't know that.
He's not perceived as a criminal. Like the stuff.
I think if it's been long enough,
back.
If he breaks the all-time receiving record, he just gets it. Doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care if Tractor Cito has 2,000. Like people have done that.
There is a lot of personal bias against lauding Tyreek Hill.
I know it's been long enough though. Like
I don't know. I still think he's a cock blocker.
He's not OJ.
Let me so let's just set aside the Tyreek, because here's the other thing. We're talking about false favorite as Jalen Hurts. Tyreek Hill would be my favorite in this market right now, for sure.
Yeah,
no doubt, because his performance has been incredible. I'm talking about value bet, and what should the fair price be for Derrick Henry? Let me just let me just walk you through a little hypothetical here. Ready? Let's say you're a running back, and you had a great statistical season, right? And you really want to put an exclamation point on it at the end of the year in some high-profile games as you clinch a playoff spot for your unexpectedly amazing Titans.
Yeah, who are double-digit underdogs this week.
Who are double-digit underdogs this week.
Yep.
Let's say you want to put an exclamation point on your season. Who would you like to face in back-to-back weeks as far as rushing defenses, if you had your choice?
Again, we're talking about a guy who didn't practice yet this week because of a foot injury, who missed time last year. I'm not so sure I'm excited about this. I'm not as excited about this as you.
But I'm just the hypothetical though. You're a neutral running back. It doesn't matter who you are. Who would you want to face down the stretch? It's not how you start. It's how you finish.
Raiders
and
Cleveland.
All these awards work. I would choose.
I didn't pick the ones you wanted me to pick.
I would choose Houston and the Los Angeles Chargers, and that is basically the final. The 2 weeks leading into I think like 15 and 16 for the Texans. They get Houston and the Chargers. Henry obviously already could have gone for 300 yards once against the Texans, but they distributed his workload a little. I think he's going to put up historical numbers again. And I think realistically, our friend who's smart, who loves the Titans, made a comp preseason that was basically like, you look at the statistical body of work of Derrick Henry and you comp him to any other player in terms of production, and it is like 1-to-1 with OJ Simpson. Incredible. And OJ Simpson's 28-year season was superlative. And speaking honestly, they're tracking. They're tracking right now. They're tracking right now. You wouldn't give OJ Simpson an award.
I would not give OJ the award right now.
No,
I'd give him an award for a great Twitter account. He's been killing it on Twitter. Poor choice. Sorry, that was Freudian slip.
Slip of the tongue.
Slip of the tongue.
But yeah, no, I think in a 28-year season, the guy was buried. He was buried. People were like, no, he's done. He's lost a step. He has got that step back. The guy is a monster. He's going to be the NFL rushing leader. He's going to have 1 million touchdowns. He's the entire offense for a terrible Titans team that is going to make the playoffs and could get a 2 seed, for crying out loud. Like my opinion of the Titans secret tank is completely out the window. One of the worst takes of the preseason, just because they happen to have had a very easy schedule, and the rest of the AFC South is horrifically bad. I think the Titans they're going to be perceived as a surprise with how high they finished in the AFC, and somebody's going to be try to talk themselves into giving them some award. They gave Vrabel Coach of the Year last year. I think Derrick Henry gets the lauded this year, and it's Offensive Player of the Year. So 50-1 Derrick Henry campaign starts today. A lot of other smart people were ahead of me on this. I won't take full credit.
Yeah, I can get it at 50, but like even 5-1 is ridiculous. Like saying 5-1 is fair is ridiculous.
Yeah,
10. And not only that, but like Miami actually has a tough end of the season.
Yeah,
the final couple games. Minnesota ends with like Green Bay and the Bears. Those are some secondaries that you can put up some numbers. And truthfully, like, I get it with the Jalen Hurts false favorite too, because we talk about this over and over with awards markets. It's so hard to give like multiple awards to the same team.
Oh yeah, it's
And
you
man,
share.
and
You share. Everybody, you did great this year. You did
and
great
the
this year as a team.
first one in the power rankings is like, if we have to give this team an award, it's just going to go to Sirianni. It feels like.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. 100% with that.
Noob says, "I'd love to see Derrick Henry in a Naked Gun reboot."
I'll try to make that happen. I know some people that were talking about a Naked Gun reboot, by the way.
No, I've heard about a Naked Gun reboot. They did a Fletch one, didn't tell anybody.
Have you seen it yet?
No, I've heard it's good.
I got recommended by producer Dan, and I watched it, and I enjoyed it quite substantially. I was a little drunk.
Here's a question from our friends on Twitch: how does it make sense that the Titans are plus 12.5 and the Jags are plus 9.5 at Arrowhead next week?
Dude, that's a great question. So one of the things that happens year in, year out and you can almost count on it.
Yeah.
When Andy Reid and
why I bet Chiefs, the Titans this week. It's overpriced by 3 points.
Yeah. When Andy Reid and the Chiefs come off of a bye, people line up and they say, good at any price.
Yep.
Good at any price. And that is a little bit of what's influencing this market. And the Titans are a bet at 12.5. Put them in your contest picks.
And I mean, as bad as Trevor Lawrence is, it's a known quantity, whereas now I don't know what do you put the probability on Tannehill? I said 50-50 today, and I'm not even sure it's that high. I think it might be like 60-40 Malik.
20-80 Tannehill.
Really? Yeah. I was a little more hopeful, but I mean, there's a decent chance I get smoked on this bet because Derrick Henry doesn't play. Like
you think
he says he's going to play?
Shit. This is veteran rest shit.
I don't know. It's been 2 days in a row with a foot thing.
I know you do 30. 30. They gave him 30 carries.
I know. They gave him 30 carries. How many carries did he have when he broke last year?
28.
He's about 2 games 26. Away from last year's tipping point. He had about 225 somewhere in there. He's at like 170, I think.
Andy, did you know that when that happened last year, he was the market favorite for Offensive Player of the Year?
Well, yeah, he had a hell of a season for. Yeah. I think he had
which he's having again. He has a game in pocket. He has already done his bye. He's got a game in pocket over everybody.
The thing was, he already had 10 touchdowns in like 9 games, man. Like he was scoring at a high clip too. Well, we didn't have the wide receiver. Who's the leading receiver last year?
Cooper Kupp, who won it. Cooper Kupp was the winner. He was the top wide receiver.
Who was second? I'm trying to think of like that.
In voting, it was Jonathan Taylor.
No. And just 2021 wide receiver leaders. Devontae. I was going to say Devontae. There was a gap, and then another gap. Down Tyreek was third, 700 yards short of Kupp. No, this is wrong. It's rated by receptions. No wonder I'm sorting this funny. God, I'm dumb. All right, second was Justin Jefferson, 1,600. Yeah, that sounds right. Third, Devontae, Jamar, Debo, 1,400. Debo should have just got it. Like what he did.
The Niners weren't consistent enough. They didn't win enough games.
I know, but he had 1,400 yards and 77 catches. That's sadistic.
Yeah, but he didn't even win his division. The Rams did, which means Cooper Kupp gets the benefit of the doubt in that case. Cooper Kupp had some record-setting numbers last year, didn't he?
Yeah,
he set or tied the vaunted reception record from Jerry Rice, didn't he?
I remember
45.
I remember when Chris Carter. Well, no, that wasn't the reception record because Chris Carter set the record at like 122 back in the 90s. And then it's been beaten a couple times since. I want to say it was Calvin might have had the record. But yeah, the Triple Crown, the yardage, the catches, and then also 16 touchdowns. The next one was Chase with 13. Or no, you know what? Mike Evans had 14 touchdowns and only 74 catches. That's kind of wild.
Cooper Kupp all-time second place last year with 145. The all-time first is held by a guy who just went on IR today, but is still cashing those checks. Mr. Michael Thomas, 149 receptions.
Man, do you think he ever plays again?
I don't know.
That
Probably
guy
not.
might just—he's 30.
Yeah.
It
If
might
there's
just
a
be done.
couple, who's the other guy that's like that? Who's just kind of never really going to be back?
I mean, Derrick Henry in 2 weeks. I'm gonna ride you with this now.
Look, man,
Oh no, you know what? I seen some Justin Blackmon talk on the internet this week.
Andy.
People are wondering if he's coming back. Like, I see that. I'm like, he hasn't played in like 8 years. What are we doing?
Oh yeah, Julio Jones definitely
Julio,
counts.
my
He's in
goodness.
that category
Never
for
Julio,
sure.
guys.
Never coming back.
Will Fuller. Will Fuller might have retired.
He did retire this week.
What do you think they do? Here, put on your GM cap. Put on your GM cap, Drew.
None of the awards are bettable except for Offensive Player of the Year. And Derrick Henry is a big factor.
I think he could still take some stabs.
The sharpest award originator I know said it, and in 2 seconds I was like, "Oh my god, that's absolutely fucking wrong. That price is so fucking wrong. It's so wrong." Anyway, go ahead.
Put in your GM cap before we go. Okay. What do you do if you're the GM of who is the GM of the Texans right now?
Nick Caserio.
Yeah, there we go. I was thinking Easterby gone, but he wasn't.
Easterby he was like the president of football.
Yeah, he was the president of football operations. What do you do with your star wide receiver and your only good player not named Damian Pierce?
I think you try to mend fences, man.
Yeah, you can't trade him now.
Mm-mm.
And you certainly can't
well,
just give.
Year, surely, no.
Well, yeah, and you can't just let him go now.
No. You try to mend fences, but I mean, you have so many other problems. What does it matter?
I have tank for webinar. I have
Wemby tank for Wemby.
I will do one closing trivia question.
Okay,
because we're looking at the Texans. We're talking personnel. We're talking front office. We're talking managers, coaches.
Do you have somewhere to go?
No. Well, I do. I actually got to get home. I got some things to do.
I was going to try to sell you on one on the Tennessee bet, but
all right, no, give it to me after this. I want to do a trivia question. What is Lovie Smith's real first name? Anybody?
Is it not Lovey? Well, I'm going to go with Gerald.
Gerald? Any other guesses? That's not right.
All right.
No.
I mean,
close.
Am I?
Yeah.
What is it really?
No, it's just Lovey.
It is Lovey. That was my first guess.
I know.
My first guess.
I know you're like, is it not? But I put this. I sowed
Reginald?
the seed. Did you see me gaslight you right on air though?
Yeah.
You're like, is it not Lovey?
Like,
he was named after his aunt, like Lavavla or something. Love la la. So it is just Lovey. I know because that was bothering me. I'm like, I googled it while I was at the bar. I'm like, is this his real name? I never have looked this up. There's a lot of good guesses. Clive. Right.
Here's the other Tennessee bet I wanted to try to sell you on.
Okay.
Tennessee Volunteers. 12-1 to win the title.
I don't follow college. I'm not going to have a good. You'll just have to tell me.
Okay, so they're in a unique position where this week's game, right?
Yep.
They're playing the Georgia Bulldogs. I don't know if you know that.
Mm-hmm. What is the total? I kind of want to just bet that over. I think both offenses are so fun.
Oh, yes. And not only are both offenses so fun, there's a blueprint, very, very clear blueprint of how you beat the Tennessee defense, and that Georgia will just run it back.
7?
Let it rip.
Wait, I'd rather bet the Georgia Tech over. There's only 41 in that one.
I'll look it up for you in a second, but here's the Tennessee bet. Ready? Asymmetrical outcomes of this game. Georgia wins.
Mm-hmm.
They are in the Final Four, period.
Yeah.
Period. Georgia loses. They are at risk of being eliminated. Okay? Because they're not going to have the opportunity to play their way in via the SEC championship game if they lose this game.
Yeah, you don't get to be in.
Okay? If you're Georgia and you lose this game, you are cheering mightily for Tennessee to beat Alabama in the SEC championship game. That's your only path, right?
Yeah.
If you are Tennessee, if you win this game, you are in the Final Four. It doesn't matter what happens to you. It doesn't matter if Alabama beats you 50-3 in the SEC championship.
Yeah, man, you beat Georgia.
You beat them and you beat Georgia. You're in, right? So basically a win and you're in the Final Four. At 12-1, that's worth having in pocket. Okay. You lose, you have to lose like badly, like not non-competitive loss here to be completely kind of on the outside of the mix for the Final Four, in my mind, right? Because a competitive loss here, even if you don't cover the 8, you are still, you beat Alabama head to head. You're not going to the SEC title game, which means if Georgia goes and beats Alabama in the SEC title game, now Alabama is eliminated, and Tennessee, you are the second representative for the SEC. And even with a loss,
I really don't know the
you're in.
like. It feels like 3 of the spots are really spoken for.
3 of them are, yeah. Well, no.
Big Ten,
SEC,
Clemson, and then one SEC.
Winner of this game, a second SEC, and OSU.
Whoever wins Ohio State, Michigan, because they'll just crush somebody from the West.
Yeah,
and then Clemson.
Yeah, probably, but yeah, there's 2 SEC spots, right? And one of these, and the longest price is Tennessee. Tennessee wins this game.
Here's the play. Here's the actual play. And so, no, not Drew. This is actually better because I get there is the other outcome, and that's a possibility. But then you need several things to go right, and then you're still a 4 seed, and then you need 2 more games. Like, just betting Tennessee money line here is honestly the move. Plus, you don't tie up money for very long.
That's path for Tennessee not to get in right now is losing this game in a non-competitive fashion and Alabama winning the SEC title game over Georgia. That's the combination that knocks you out.
Yeah.
That's those combined
that happens
odds.
An awful lot.
No, I know, but those no.
I mean, not losing this non-competitively.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
And
like,
Dan,
even
if points this out. Like, a loss is a loss here. Tennessee can lose by 1 point. If Alabama beats UGA in the championship game, they're not going to put Tennessee in.
If Tennessee loses this by 1 point and Alabama beats Georgia, then Georgia might be out. Depends on how bad that loss is. A Tennessee 1 point loss on the road is getting a lot of consideration by the
I don't know.
The SEC championship game winner is going, period. And so I think there is a path where Georgia does not get in if they win this game by only 1 point. Tennessee could beat them out in consideration. Play a much softer schedule.
I agree with Randy. Just bet the money line in this game if you really think so. Plus, you're not tying up money for very long.
Right.
And Dan says no fucking way, and then he follows that up with not a chance.
He's just mad that another T school with orange colors is very much in the running for a national title.
I don't know. Texas was ranked this week, guys. So are they back? Maybe. Yeah, we need Philly to get their ass moving here on this drive. What are they looking at? I missed the play when I went to commercial.
Hopefully it was a pick 6 that gets accepted.
Yeah, that'll get things.
I wasn't watching.
Yeah, we haven't even got to the 10-minute mark. We're fine. We're gonna get some points here. Yeah, and Dan, a bunch of people pointed this out.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Texas is ranked, so Alabama can have a. They have a win against a ranked.
And speaking of, I never really thought hard about why they even bother ranking Beyond 4 and the big release show, other than to kill time and to. There's
absolutely a reason.
Yeah.
So they can get people who are 5, 6, 7, 8 mad.
Yeah. Well, not that. Well, that too, but even more so to justify why they have the top the way they are.
Yeah,
like that. It's backfill, which is annoying. So.
And they do it so early. Like they do this like. And granted, it's for ratings. It's for interest in the sport. I get that, but there are they do this about 3 weeks too early, honestly. But they got us talking about it.
It's a night for dogs, man. Oklahoma City might win too here. That would be something. I'm really psyched the Magic got that win, man. The Warriors are 3-5, 3-6. Excuse me.
Long season.
I don't think the Thunder are going to win, but I kind of hope the Thunder get blown out here in the fourth.
The thing about the NBA season,
preserve some value there.
Season of runs.
It is a season of runs.
You know what? I just appreciate you making it to the end of the show today.
Uninterrupted.
Anybody who caught Wednesday's show, Drew popped back into StreamYard into our stream like right
As you were
right,
ending.
right as Dan was ending the stream. Like it was hilarious timing. So
Yeah, I think I
how
talked
good
over
is
the closing
SG
music as
So-
proof. As proof.
But yes, I'm calling it an evening. I'm going to move on to my Friday. I'm going to cheer for some more runs in this baseball game to make things interesting. I'm going to cheer for lots of points in this football game, and I'm going to go get some whiskey in my tummy.
Yeah. What are you
It
drinking?
is that.
tonight?
It's not. It doesn't even feel like brown liquor season. It's been so warm.
What are you drinking?
Seltzer water.
Oh no, I know.
Okay.
What kind of whiskey are you gonna pour? Is what I'm asking.
I don't know. Maybe some Widow Jane.
Nice. All right, man. We'll enjoy. Cheers. Thank you guys for tuning in. Dan, you can end it here. We did a 30-minute stream. We appreciate all your time.